Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranams Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Answers at your lotus feet. We shall start our Srila Prabhupada Lilamrt. We will continue. We just now in the last session, we saw how Srila Prabhupada concluded that fight in Juhu, Bombay. Now Srila Prabhupada is in Mayapur. This is in the year 1973, the month of June. So we shall continue after the Mangalacharanam prayers. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Sri Gita Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Shri Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Desatarini Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Ji. Pranams Prabhuji.
Pranam. Once again, I welcome all of you for this session. So we continue from where we left off. Prabhupada is already in Mayapur, and we have been seeing the goings on there. I think last week we read what Bhavananda Maharaj spoke about their stay in Mayapur. So right now, Mayapur, Prabhupada is there. Lotus building is under construction. Srila Prabhupada has moved into his rooms, 2 rooms, in the second floor of the Lotus building. And other foreigner disciples of Prabhupada, European and American, they have moved into the remaining rooms, all under construction in the same Lotus building. Apart from this one building, there is nothing else for miles around. From the roof of the Lotus building under construction, you can see the Janmasthan, the Yogapeeth where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had taken birth. Apart from that, for miles and miles, there were nothing to see. no buildings, only paddy fields, paddy fields, paddy fields. And here, lotus building, and then there is the thatched hut where Srila Prabhupada was living earlier. Now Prabhupada has moved into the lotus building. That thatched hut is remaining. We will see how they used it subsequently. But this is what the situation is. Now we continue the story from there. So Bhavananda Prabhu was saying, in Prabhupada's room, he introduced the Vedic culture. How the Vedic culture? Bhavananda Maharaj, he says, the room was there. Prabhupada had a low desk. Behind that, Prabhupada would be sitting with his back against the wall. And the rest of the room, they put mattresses, cotton mattresses. They covered the room with mattresses. And on the mattress, they spread white sheets tightly. And Bhavananda Maharaj recollects, in Los Angeles also, 3 years earlier in 1970, Srila Prabhupada did the same thing. It was an Indian culture. He transported there to Los Angeles. There also, mattresses were spread. And Prabhupada personally went on his knees to spread the sheets nicely without any wrinkles and all, tightly over the mattresses. And Bhavananda Prabhu and Prabhupada together, they did that service in Los Angeles. So he recollects that. And he's saying, Prabhupada was actually introducing a aristocratic practice. The zamindars and other people in Bengal used to have that culture, and Prabhupada was using that same culture. And he recollects that actually Prabhupada is also from the Mulliks family, who are all basically zamindars, very big landowners and money lenders. They had a high respect in the royal society also. So it was like the same royalty here. Srila Prabhupada was the zamindar, and all the other disciples sitting around him were his favorite children, the sons and daughters, like that. And so when visitors come, guests come, they will all sit on this mattress, and Prabhupada will converse with them. Okay. And when evening comes, the light will be on, the electric light will be on in Srila Prabhupada's room, and all devotees will be sitting, and thousands of insects will be flying around the light. You know why? Outside is complete darkness. It's all paddy fields. There are hardly any electric lights or anything there. So all the insects are clustering around this light which is there in Srila Prabhupada's room. Thousands of insects flying in circles around the lights. And Prabhupada would comment. Let us see what Prabhupada says. Prabhupada would say, what a wonderful creation of God, these insects. This little insect is both pilot and flying machine in one. We build aircraft, but to fly the aircraft, we have to train the pilot and make him sit in the aircraft. Then he will fly. So it is a combination of a machine and a man inside. But here, this insect is a combination machine and the driver of the machine. It's like that Prabhupada commented. This is a unique creation of God. And there are not one or two airplanes like that. There are thousands and thousands of airplanes here in this little space. And they are flying together. There is no collision. If we have to take a car in the street, there is always a fear of accidents, and even people die. But here, thousands of insects are flying within such a small area, but there is no collision. So Prabhupada says, this is an arrangement of God. He has given the necessary intelligence to all these insects. They are actually flying so fast in so many different orbits, but they are not clashing. They are not clashing and falling down. So there's never a crash, because not only the soul is in the insect, the super soul is present, and the super soul is guiding. And Prabhupada says, material scientists also manufacture aircraft and all that, but there is always a fear of crashing. When two flights are in the air and space, there is always a fear that there could be an accident. But with these insects, it doesn't happen. Then, like that, Prabhupada will speak, and the disciples would sit there and enjoy. Prabhupada was eager to give instructions to his disciples, and the disciples were eager to receive the instructions from the Guru and to act upon those instructions. Disciples were eager to please Srila Prabhupada always. How can we please Srila Prabhupada? They are always in that mode. And Prabhupada is always eager to train them into first-class devotees. So this is how a guru-disciple relationship should thrive, should evolve and grow. So that was seen here. Whatever was Prabhupada's will, the disciples were eager to learn that and execute that. Then Prabhupada continued. But these insects are also not perfect. Why? They are flying towards the light, which is their death actually. The light is actually an attraction. It's a trap. They are getting attracted to the light, but the light is a trap only. They are now going to die. And tomorrow morning when you see, there will be a heap of dead bodies here of all these insects. They finish their life by getting unnecessarily attracted to that light. And Prabhupada compared this to materialistic people. They are attracted to building skyscrapers and bungalows, cars, and so many material sense enjoyments. But they don't realize what will happen at the time of death. Henry Ford and other big capitalist people, they all have died. So many others are trying to become just like them. What nonsense. They can see that these great men are dead and gone. Just a heap of dead bodies. But our people, they still want to live the same kind of life. They don't know that if we continue to behave like them, we will also meet with death one day. Now I am going to ask you devotees one question. What is the difference between a devotee and a non-devotee? Why Prabhupada is talking like this about a materialistic people? Is it not applicable to devotees also? We do bhakti, we do deity worship, we do Navavida bhakti, and one day we also die and we are gone. So why Prabhupada is talking like this about materialistic people only? Please.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Thanks Prabhuji. Prabhuji, the devotees have some awareness. So what will happen? This Dukkalayam Ashashvatam, he knows it well. So thing is, as he knows the fact, so Dukkalayam and Ashashvatam, automatically the desires towards materialist activities will die within ourselves only. It won't grow. I think as per my knowledge, it is the fact, Prabhuji.
Very good. Yeah, it's a good answer. Yes, more devotees want to speak? Want to add to what Prabhuji told? Yes, Mataji, go ahead. What is your opinion? I can't hear either of you. Chitra Subramanian Mataji, Lakshmi Venkat Mataji, I don't hear.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Actually, the devotee is fully surrendered to Krishna and he has full trust in him and he doesn't have the fear of death within him.
Yes.
The ultimate goal is to reach the Goloka Vrindavan and serve Krishna. So that fear isn't within him that I will die, and that death, fear of death is not within him.
Is it only, very good answer. I fully appreciate this answer. But I want to ask you one running question. That is it only the fear of death that disappears or death also disappears? This is the question.
Prabhuji, that actually the devotee doesn't have anything, only as he is fully surrendered to Krishna, that Shraddha is within him. So he doesn't have that end is going to come. In this material world also, I need to serve Krishna, and later on also I'm going to serve Krishna. So that duality doesn't exist within him.
Does the devotee die? I'm asking a straight question.
The devotee never dies, Prabhuji.
Yeah, you should answer boldly like that.
It is always a devotee.
The Vaishnava never dies. Because every rising and the setting of the sun reduces the life of a materialistic person who was simply talking rupee, ana, paisa the whole day, and he doesn't think of Krishna. Every rising, setting, it takes away his life, and he is moving towards death. But the devotee of Krishna, he is realizing he is the soul, which is Satchitananda, eternal, and he is realizing his relationship with Krishna, who is Satchitananda. And he is fully aware that by the process of performing bhakti, I am going to the Dhama of Krishna, where I will join him and I will live with him forever. And as this consciousness grows in the devotee, his attachment to the body disappears. Gradually, 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 all his material attachments disappear. And then he reaches a stage called Jivan Mukta. Jivan Mukta means even while the body is alive, he has become free from the bodily consciousness. How? By becoming fully Krishna conscious. Because he is fully Krishna conscious, the existence of the body or non-existence of the body doesn't matter at all. Narada Muni, if you recollect, in Srimad Bhagavatam, when he talks about his past life, he says how as a little boy of a maidservant, he got the mercy of the Bhakti Vedantas and they taught him the process of bhakti, and then his mother also died, and this little child started traveling fearlessly in the dense forest and jungles and mines and cities and towns and villages all over the place. And then once he just sat down under a tree and using the process taught by these Bhakti Vedantas, he started meditating. And then the Supreme Lord appeared briefly in his heart, in his vision, and then he disappeared. Then he continued to meditate, but the Lord would not appear. But then he heard the voice, which is not different from seeing Krishna. Seeing Krishna, hearing Krishna, touching Krishna, smelling Krishna, embracing Krishna, they are all same. They are all on the absolute platform. So this time the Lord spoke to him and he said, look, I have given you a darshan which people wait for millions of lifetimes to take. They don't get. Demigods also don't get. But you have got this darshan. But I have disappeared to increase your hankering. Now you will not think of anything other than me. Having taken the darshan of my beautiful form, now you cannot be satisfied by anything else. The rest of your life you will be hankering intensely to have my darshan. And that is why I have disappeared. And this intense longing for me will destroy the vestige of any material attachments and desires in you. And you will become completely purified, and then you will reach me. And that moment onwards, Narada Muni or maidservant son, whichever way you call him, he is going around totally detached from the world, and he is not even aware of his own body also. His inner spiritual senses have awakened by the darshan and hearing of Lord Krishna. His inner senses, that is the spiritual senses, the soul has awakened along with its senses. Now it is totally unconscious about the body. And then one time, this material body fell down and the spiritual body appeared simultaneously, like the lightning and the thunderclap occur. Right? The lightning and thunderclap, they occur together. We hear it later, but they occur together. Like that, the disappearance of the material body, appearance of the spiritual body, they happen simultaneously. And Narada Muni was not even aware of that. Similarly, this is we see at the beginning of the Bhagavatam. At the end of Bhagavatam, we see how Parikshit Maharaj takes permission from Sukadeva Goswami. Sukadeva Goswami has finished the katha and he's totally unattached. He's getting up to leave. My job is done. He's going. The snake is going to come. It is going to bite Parikshit, but Sukadeva Goswami is not bothered. He's just leaving. And then Parikshit, he just takes the permission from his spiritual master. My dear spiritual master, I heard Krishna Katha from you for 7 days and 7 nights. Now, with your permission, I want to absorb myself in meditation on the Supreme Lord. Let the snake bird come, bite, whatever. I'm totally detached from that. And then he goes into meditation. He's lost. His soul is already with God. His body is sitting. And the snake, at the appointed time, it comes, bites him. He's not even aware. He's bitten. His body bursts into flames. But he's not the body. He's not the body. He's a spirit soul and he's with the Lord. So the devotee doesn't die. The fear of death comes from feeling separateness from Krishna. That is the source of the fear of death. Bhaya abhiniveshasya. We feel that we have a separate existence from Krishna. It is that feeling that gives the fear of death. That feeling disappears from a devotee. That's why if you see, Bhaktivinoda Thakur will write, he reasons ill who says Vaishnavas die. Right? He reasons ill who says Vaishnavas die. Vaishnavas don't die. They live to spread the holy name around. No? They are always, because Vaishnava joins Krishna. So where is the question of death? So that way, a materialistic person is afraid of death. He doesn't want to think about it. The death is going to come anyway, but they don't want to think about it. They just copy other materialistic people who have gone ahead of them. But if you think of a devotee, by becoming closer and closer and closer to Krishna, he also doesn't think of death because death has no meaning for him. Let us understand, because in seventh canto also, it is nicely explained that it is like a dreamer seeing his own body in the dream, right? Our material existence is like a dream. Our material existence is like a dream. It is exactly like a dreamer who is seeing his own body in the dream. But that's not his body. His body is lying in the bed, comfortably sleeping. He's sleeping in the bed, but then he's seeing his own body performing so many activities in his dream. He's seeing, but he's also thinking, I am doing all these things. It is only a dream. So it is explained that the same thing happens. The soul is spiritual and the body is material. There is absolutely no connection between these two. The perception of reality of this body is only coming from the illusory power of the Supreme Lord. The Lord's illusory power makes us think that I am this body. Otherwise, there is really no connection. Right? And by the performance of bhakti, this connection is destroyed. There is no reality in this connection. This is only an illusion. So this illusion is destroyed. We are not saying the material world is an illusion. That is Mayavadi concept. We devotees say material world is temporary. Material world is temporary, right? But my perception that I am this body, that is an illusion. Like you mistake a snake for a rope or a rope for a snake. The rope is there, but your perception that it is a snake is wrong. Same way, our perception that I am this body is wrong, and that is what is the source of all our fear. Is it clear? Anyone wants to ask any questions on this that we have discussed?
Very clear, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. So when Prabhupada talks about materialistic people are going to die, they are simply imitating other materialistic people. They want to build skyscrapers, they want to buy cars and all that, and they don't know that they are going to die also. And they are like these small insects. In the morning, we simply see a heap of dead bodies, and all these people like that, they are just a heap of dead bodies. So when we say that, we should know in what way devotee is different from these people. And we should aspire to achieve that evolution in our consciousness. As a devotee, by constantly hearing, chanting, being in the association of devotees, performing the processes of bhakti, we should move towards that. Increasing attachment to Krishna, and as a corollary, decreasing attachment to anything material like that. So oftentimes, while Prabhupada is speaking, the lights would suddenly go out. Electric power in Bengal, in those days, it was terrible. And then the devotees would bring the kerosene lamps. And the pujari would come with a pot filled with coal, burning coal, and he would put frankincense, camphor, and the place will be filled with smoke. And the ghee lamps will be burning in front of the Radha Krishna wooden deities. Anyone who has seen Prabhupada's room, it is preserved as it is. These Radha Krishna deities are right in front of Prabhupada's study table, right in front of that, right? And in that light, they would take the darshan of Radha and Krishna deities. And so when the summer came, Prabhupada was discussing his plan for Mayapur. Please listen carefully. We are in 2025, and here we are discussing the year 1973, the summer of 1973, and Prabhupada is discussing his plans. We can see how much of it has been already realized and how much of it is yet to be realized. We will see that. The devotees knew that Prabhupada's plans would cost millions of dollars. The plan is so huge. They have now one building, but this is only the beginning. In the total plan, this building is almost insignificant. So many buildings are going to come. So many massive structures are going to be erected. And Srila Prabhupada spoke about a colossal temple, massive, magnificent temple. It's a great dome. There will be a dome on top of the temple, and that will rise above the transcendental city. Mayapur will become a transcendental city. It will be created by ISKCON. ISKCON will create a transcendental city in Mayapur, and in the center, this magnificent temple will rise with its dome touching the transcendental sky like that. This is Prabhupada's plan. This Mayapur Chandrodaya Mandir will have the greatest planetarium in the world. It will depict the universe as it is described in our Vedic literature. Boldly, Prabhupada is saying that there are scientists and they have their own description of the universe, but we will show our Vedic description as a working model. There'll be a planetarium, not like some lights and studio lights and in a darkened dome you will see. Not like that. This is a pakka three-dimensional working model of the universe that will be displayed from the dome of this huge temple. Prabhupada is saying that. To execute such a project, Srila Prabhupada wanted to train his disciples in the Vedic arts. See how everything is developing. See, now you can actually visualize. This is a very important point that we should try to understand. When you become a devotee, you should not think that all material sciences become useless now. I am a devotee. I am worshipping Krishna. What else is there? I have only a simple life. I will live under a tree. And there is nothing to be done as a devotee. But all the Vedic arts actually developed around devotees only. The devotees wanted to serve the Lord in many, many ways. And when they wanted, all these arts developed. So all these arts essentially developed around God. Even if some of you who are my generation, 60 plus, you will know in those days, all the stage dramas or the cinemas, the theme was only God. The theme was only from the Puranas and Itihasas. There would be no social drama or social cinema. It was all devotional only. So when the medium came, the medium of movie or stage play, it was used only in the service of God and godliness. Same way, if you see a temple city, in fact, all the cities were centered around temples only. All cities in those days were temple cities only. And people would be constantly going on pilgrimages. From Rameshwaram to Kasi, on the way they will go to so many temples. So all the temples, they were entertaining so many traveling pilgrims. And around these pilgrims, a whole economy developed and flourished. If you have a temple, then so many visitors are coming, they need a place to stay, so chautris will come. Somebody will do a charity, they will make a nice chautri there. And workers will be engaged in the chautri to cook and serve prasadam to all the people who come. The chautri has to be maintained. So farmers will come and dump their produce, the paddy, whatever crops they grow, they will give a portion to the temple. And the temple will have huge granaries. And the granaries must be maintained. So many people will be employed in the temple. And in the temple, when the evening comes, people from all the surrounding areas, they will come to temple only. Why? Only entertainment is in the temple, nothing is outside. And in the temple, there will be harikatha, then there will be dramas, there'll be dance performances, and there'll be arts, there'll be sculptures, everything on God. So the whole lot of, there'll be flower garland makers, there'll be garment makers for the Lord, and there'll be people who offer arti paraphernalia to the devotees that can be offered to the Lord. And then prasadam, the feeding for all the devotees and pilgrims who come. Like that, a whole economy develops around a temple. And the country was filled with temples and filled with pilgrims going from place to place visiting all these temples. And they can go and knock on any door and ask for food and stay, and they'll be readily offered. In fact, Prabhupada says, according to Varnashrama, when the prasadam is cooked and offered to the Lord, the householder should wait for any guest who will come. Atithi. Atithi means a guest who comes at any time without any announcement. They can come. So that way, he has to wait. If nobody comes, he will go out in the street, in the road junction, and he will invite anyone who is hungry, please come. Prasadam is ready, please come home. So there was no problem. Anybody can go out for pilgrimage, knowing fully well that I'll be properly fed. Imagine, the society consists of 4 ashramas: Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanaprasthi, Sannyas. Out of this, only the Grihasthas have the responsibility to maintain all these 3: Brahmachari, Vanaprastha, Sannyas. Right? On top of that, they have to take care of Atithi. Anyone who comes to the door unannounced, they have to take care of them also. Even the household animals and insects and creatures, the householder has a duty to maintain them also. So this is the situation. So Prabhupada is explaining that we have to develop the Vedic arts. Actually, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati is also famous for creating many dioramas. Diorama means using, in those days, mud. Today, they use fiberglass and such more advanced material. And they create a 3-dimensional presentation. The forms will be projecting out of the background. If you have an art, a painting, it is 2-dimensional. But this is a 3-dimensional thing. On the base, these forms will be projecting out of it. So that's a special skill. And Srila Prabhupada wanted his disciples to learn this skill. So the artists would be invited to our Mayapur, and they would come and teach these boys, the devotees. Same way, Prabhupada wanted them to know the art of making mridanga, clay pot mridanga, coal, clay pot mridanga. So Prabhupada brought the potter to teach them how to make those pots, which will be used in these mridangas. Like that, all these foreigners, they were constantly receiving training into the Vedic arts. So it's not just devotion, but the Vedic arts are made to subserve the devotion process. So Prabhupada was writing to all his international devotees. Mayapur is already wonderful, being the transcendental birthplace of Lord Krishna. By utilizing Western talents to develop this place, certainly it will become unique in the world. So Prabhupada wants Mayapur to become a unique place in the whole world. And now Prabhupada is describing the Mayapur city would be the fulfillment of the desires of our previous acharyas. So right from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu onwards, acharyas wanted this Mayapur to develop. So that will be the fulfillment. The city will have a population of 50,000. Now the city has a population of about 8,000. That is itself a huge thing. It was a paddy field. Nobody was living there. From 0, it has come to 8,000, all on account of one temple. After ISKCON temple came, this 8,000 population has come. So Prabhupada says, this city will become the spiritual capital of the world. With its gigantic temple in the center, it will have separate quarters for the 4 varnas, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. There will be separate quarters around the temple. Remember, these 4 varnas are not by birth. Anyone wants to comment on this? Hare Krishna, anyone has any doubts about this? Prabhupada is saying that around this temple, there will be separate quarters for Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra. Would anyone like to explain this point? How is it possible? Hare Krishna, devotees.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare.
On account on their prescribed duties, what they are capable of to serve Krishna based on that, Prabhuji?
Yes. So everyone will engage themselves in an occupation that is according to their psycho-physical nature. Everyone born in this world has a certain psycho-physical nature. But all of them are Vaishnavas. All of them are Vaishnavas. These are not Brahmana, Kshatriya, etc. by birth. We are not talking about that. All these people who will live 50,000 people in Mayapur, they are all Vaishnavas. They are all greater than Brahmanas. Vaishnava is greater than Brahmana. But still, Prabhupada says there will be separate quarters for the four Varnas, which is based on Guna Karma Vibhagasha. Not based on Janma, not based on birth. And they will have separate quarters, and in each of these quarters, appropriate activity will be going on. But everything will be centered around God. And it will be guided by the Brahminical section of the city who are 24 hours engaged in service of the Lord. So like this, Prabhupada is envisaging. And Prabhupada says, this city will be the model for all other cities. The day will come when the cities of the world will be ruined. Either by, even today we are afraid, any day atomic warfare may come. They are saying India and Pakistan were close to atomic warfare. Somehow it was avoided. Ukraine and Russia, there is a threat that anytime nuclear weapons will be deployed by Russia. And by accident also something can happen. And then the whole world will be totally absorbed in wars, very destructive wars. So Prabhupada is saying the world's cities will be ruined. But even if such wars don't happen, the world is not destroyed by that. Still, there is so much degradation in the society going on that definitely a day will come, the world will be ruined. The cities will be ruined. Right now we see all the lakes, all the waterways, every pond in the city is polluted. We have to take water in bottles only. There is no sufficient supply of good potable water in the cities. Already they are saying many cities will have to close down only due to lack of water. Some cities in the world have been already vacated by the people for the simple reason no water. So it can happen for any reason. Also, the degradation of the population, the mind sinking into tamogun. The city will become unlivable because the crime rate will go so high. When people have no consciousness of God, the crime rates will simply zoom. Right now, like the conversation between Parikshit Maharaj and Dharma in the form of a bull. This is discussed. There is at least one leg partly standing, that is truthfulness. That is coming from the transcendental consciousness only. There's a little bit available in the form of truthfulness. That will also disappear. So the cities will die from various reasons. The cities cannot exist. Even now we see cities are sinking. How much more it will sink? A day will come when simply the people will have to run away from the cities. And Prabhupada is saying, then the humanity will take refuge. He doesn't say in Mayapur. Prabhupada doesn't say the humanity will all come to Mayapur. See, but what Prabhupada is saying? Prabhupada is saying the humanity will take refuge in cities modeled after Mayapur. So Mayapur, in Prabhupada's vision, is a model city of 50,000 people. Model city with a temple in the center, a gigantic, colossal temple in the center, and a 50,000 population around it. But this is a model city. So Prabhupada is saying in the future, more and more such cities will be built around the globe. It's not that Mayapur is the one and only and there is the end. No, this is a model city. Then more and more. So that means Krishna consciousness is going to grow in the world. And as a result of that growth, more and more such cities will come. Right? So this is what Prabhupada is saying. The development of Mayapur will mark the beginning of a Krishna conscious world. Thus, the influence of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will increase and his prediction will manifest. That is, Prithivitaya Chayadi Nagaradi Gram, Sarvatra Prachara Hoive Morana. Mahaprabhu predicted, my name will be sung throughout the world in every town and village. And that prediction will be fulfilled by the Chandrodaya Mandir that will come up in the Mayapur city. And Prabhupada said that Mayapur will become more easily accessible. In due course of time, Mayapur will become more easily accessible. There will be a bridge from Navadvip. Now we are able to reach Navadvip by train from Calcutta. But from Navadvip to go to Mayapur, we have to go for the ferry and all these things. But once a bridge is there, it is practically like next door, Navadvip and Mayapur. So that bridge will come. And Prabhupada says also, motor launch, the large ships, they will sail from Calcutta to Mayapur by the river Ganges. So a lot of devotees can come by the river route, like the Prabhupada. And then also by air, people can come from all over the world. It's not clear whether there will be an airport in Mayapur or from Calcutta, they can come quickly by other means of transport to Mayapur. So Mayapur will become very accessible. Prabhupada is saying this in 1973, when there is no access at all. From Calcutta airport, it's a nightmare how you will reach Mayapur. Even I have seen barely 10 years, 15 years ago, how difficult it was to reach Mayapur. Now we have better roads, incredibly better roads. When I saw this time when we traveled from airport to Mayapur, we saw the roads are really good and still it is developing. So Prabhupada's predictions are gradually getting fulfilled. Mayapur is definitely recognized for its footfall. Millions of people are coming to Mayapur. Day after day, month after month, year after year, a lot of people are coming, and including many, many foreigners. They are bringing a lot of foreign exchange. So Mayapur has become an important source of revenue for West Bengal government. I don't know, Kalikumar Ghosh Prabhu may have some statistics. I don't have. But I am sure Mayapur is very, very important to the economy of West Bengal. I am sure about that. And in the days to come, yes, it is going to be. Calcutta airport, maybe 50% of the people landing in Calcutta airport may be coming to Mayapur. So the airport may grow, and all along the route, businesses may develop and flourish. And increasingly, now the most important thing Prabhupada says, in Bengal, millions of people right from birth were followers of Lord Chaitanya. By birth, they are followers of Lord Chaitanya. But unfortunately, there was a communist government for many, many years, and you had a Congress government, which had no interest in Hinduism, right? In the name of secularism, their philosophy was something else, their priorities were something else. They were not very favorably inclined towards a mission like ISKCON. They always blamed ISKCON as a spying movement from America, CIA. So there was no support at all. So, but Prabhupada is saying that is the position of the government. But the people are Krishna conscious, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu followers at heart. And Prabhupada says they will recognize when the TOVP temple comes up, they will recognize and they will take up Krishna consciousness as the pure form of their own culture. The Bengali culture is Krishna consciousness. Bengali culture is Krishna consciousness. Who is telling? Prabhupada, who is a Bengali, is telling. At least in material terms, he is born in Bengal. He is telling that they will take up Krishna consciousness as their own culture. And Prabhupada next says, when Bengal becomes Krishna conscious, reformed and purified, then, and how it becomes purified? By the action of American Vaishnavas. Imagine. Bengal is by nature Krishna conscious, but it has been lost. Now, American Vaishnavas are coming to Bengal, and by seeing them, appreciating their activities, the Bengali devotees will take up Krishna consciousness in a pure form, and they will become all Krishna conscious people. And then by seeing Bengal, the rest of India will become Krishna conscious. And then by seeing Bharat becoming fully Krishna conscious, rest of the world will follow. So see how Prabhupada has created a chain. Very interesting, right? It's a loop that starts from America and ends in America. From America, a few devotees come to Bengal and they create a nucleus in Mayapur. From Mayapur, it spreads throughout Bengal. From Bengal, it spreads throughout India. From India, it spreads throughout the world and reaches America again. So that is a circle that Prabhupada is planning. So Prabhupada says, Prabhupada then told the devotees, I have given you the kingdom of God. I have given you the kingdom of God. If you have read the Bible, you will see this phrase very frequently, kingdom of God. Jesus Christ says, the kingdom of God is within you. Or I am the light and I am the way to my Father's mansion. Like that. Kingdom of God, Prabhupada says, I have given you. What Jesus Christ promised, I have given you. Prabhupada said, now take it, develop it, and enjoy it. That is the order of Srila Prabhupada. So what is the order? I have given you the kingdom of God. Now you take it, develop it, and enjoy it. Right? This is a Vaishnava's desire, that everyone should be happy. Everyone should give up all their miseries and anxieties. Everyone should live happily. There is no distinction of who deserves and who doesn't deserve, who is a sinner, who is a saintly person. No. It is the Vaishnava wants to see everyone happy. So that's what Srila Prabhupada said. And throughout the month of June, Prabhupada lived happily in Mayapur and his health substantially improved. Even though it was relatively hot in Mayapur, but Prabhupada's health improved and he thrived. Before coming to Bengal, Prabhupada was having a continuous coughing, severe coughing. From the time he was in Los Angeles till he came to Mayapur, he was having a cough. You can hear in many of Srila Prabhupada's lectures this coughing sound. Not ordinary coughing. If I had to cough like that, I will say, sorry, we are closing the session for today. I need to take rest. I'm having severe cough. I cannot continue the lecture. But Prabhupada, throughout the lecture, 4 or 5 bouts of coughing will happen. In one lecture of half an hour, of 35 minutes. 4 or 5 bouts of coughing. And finally, Prabhupada, like that, he'll make a sound and then in high pitch, he will continue his lecture. But that coughing subsided here in Mayapur. So Prabhupada said, it is a very good atmosphere, open air, good breeze. It is very good for breathing difficulties. Certainly, Mayapur is by far a better place than Los Angeles because you can enjoy the free air here. Climate is not too hot, but a little moisture with humidity. But on the whole, it is very pleasing. Prabhupada wants everybody to love Mayapur. Our building is most super excellently situated. And it is an experience of many respectable outsiders that outside temperature is very hot, unbearably. But in our building, it is pleasing. By Prabhupada's design, the east-west construction, the breeze is blowing freely. So even during the hot day, the blowing of the breezes freely, it creates a cooling atmosphere there. So Prabhupada praised the constant breezes. Constantly there will be breeze. Even though outside there is no breeze, in the building, the breezes will be going on. And Prabhupada said, these breezes are Vaikuntha breezes. So the building is Vaikuntha, the breeze in the building is Vaikuntha breeze, Prabhupada says. And suddenly, sometimes violent storms would happen. Again, you remember, there is only one building in the whole area, surrounding only trees and fields and farms and nothing else for miles and miles around. So when the storm comes, it can blow freely across this open land. Only one building. So the building will receive the full fury of the storm. And there'll be lightning all around. Imagine, it's like sitting in an amphitheater, Sometimes you sit in a theater which is like a planetarium, it's a circular in shape. You are sitting in the center and you can see all around you. There's a clear visibility of the whole dome above you. Like that, in Mayapur, sitting in this building, they can see the whole sky all around. And there'll be lightning flashing all over the sky. And they will be watching that. It was like a very transcendental experience, like neon lights, continuous lightning. During storms, there'll be continuous lightning. And the wind was howling like anything. And one time in Prabhupada's room, the windows were open, the door was open, and suddenly the Prabhupada's personal assistant, he ran to close the windows. Prabhupada said, no, leave the windows open. All the windows open. So he left them all open, and the wind was blowing at 80 kilometer speed through Prabhupada's room. And Prabhupada is sitting there smiling. And this huge storm is raging. And Prabhupada's clothes were flying out like that. And Prabhupada simply enjoyed it. Leave the windows open, Prabhupada said. And then Prabhupada said, there is no place in the whole world like this. In the middle of the storm, sitting in the Lotus building, second floor, Prabhupada is commenting, there is no place in the world like this. And his saffron clothes were all flying in the air, like that. And Prabhupada would stand on the top of the Mayapur building and he will look at the birthplace of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he would comment, see, there is a lot of controversy about the real birthplace of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Whether he was born on the other side of the river or he was born on this eastern side of the river, there is a lot of debate, but it is not important. See, this is so an Acharya. If there is a huge raging debate or controversy and people are not able to settle, suddenly he comes in and says, it's not very important where he was born. How is it important? And Prabhupada is saying, is Krishna famous for having been born in Mathura? Is Krishna's fame because of his taking birth in Mathura? No. He is famous for his activities. In the same way, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not famous for he being born in Mayapur. He is famous for his activities, for his Sankirtana preaching. This Mayapur Chandrodaya Mandir is the preaching of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Therefore, I want a place that is so attractive because of the activities of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that everyone will come here. Prabhupada's plan. Everyone should come here to become purified and to engage in the Sankirtana movement of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And at this time, sitting in Mayapur, Srila Prabhupada started the translation work of Chaitanya Charitamrita. Earlier, sporadically, Prabhupada had translated the first 6 chapters of Chaitanya Charitamrita in the form of small summary books or small articles Prabhupada had created. But now Prabhupada said, many people are asking me to translate Chaitanya Bhagavat. But I am going to translate the entire Chaitanya Charitamrita, he told the devotees. And sitting there in Mayapur at this time, Prabhupada started the 7th chapter of Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami's Chaitanya Charitamrita. And as he started writing, Prabhupada realized that it was actually going very fast. Nothing was stopping. He was just happily sitting in Mayapur in the birthplace of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He is writing the translation of Chaitanya Bhagavat. And he was so happy. Prabhupada said, in the next March, that is 1974 March, Gaura Purnima, this 7th volume will be out. Right? I will get the book printed. And Prabhupada decided that now I will continuously translate Chaitanya Charitamrita. I am stopping my work on Srimad Bhagavatam. So understand, Prabhupada is translating Bhagavatam, but abruptly he stopped it when he took up Chaitanya Charitamrita. And he said, first I will complete this only. And after this, Satsvarupadas Goswami Maharaj, he is quoting some of the writings in that 7th chapter, right? That he is quoting very elaborately. I think our time is up. So next week, we will take up that. whatever Prabhupada wrote in the 7th chapter, the devotees were amazed when they read it. The devotees who were sitting there in Mayapur, when they read what Prabhupada was writing, or rather dictating, I think by this time Prabhupada was only dictating, no longer writing. Dictaphone was there, and it is a faster method, so Prabhupada was dictating. And the devotees heard, and then they realized our Srila Prabhupada, who came to America and he started giving classes to us, whatever he taught and whatever he did is 100% is as described in Chaitanya Charitamrita. As Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to create the movement, the same way Srila Prabhupada has proceeded. He has not changed it even a little bit. And the devotees became so gratified that how this one old man coming in the parampara system at the ripe old age, how perfectly he has delivered Mahaprabhu's message to the Western world. So he quotes whatever Prabhupada is writing, either in translation or in the purports. Satsvarupa Maharaj writes, it is absolutely in alignment what Srila Prabhupada is actually doing. So these things, we will take it up in our next class. So thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Now it is open for questions and answers.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.